All right. I've always seen things all over the internet, TikTok, Facebook, here on YouTube, where people are doing DIY hacks where they're using weird things to fix other things. And something I've seen that seems like it might actually be legit, because I've seen like garage YouTubers do it to fix bumpers, like holes in bumpers. And that was to take a pack of Maruchan ramen noodles, crush it up into a powder, or just crush it in smaller pieces, and mix it with super glue or some other kind of glue, and use it to repair things, to like fill holes and stuff. And recently I saw John Malecki here talking about a TikTok where they used whole blocks of noodles to fix a toilet. It doesn't work like that. You have to crunch them up into a small powder and get them to fill in cracks and stuff like that. That's the only way it works. But kind of gave me an idea. What if I were to do that, put it into like a small mold or something, and use it to carve out a fishing lure? So that's what I'm doing today. I have the noodles, super glue, but on top of that, another DIY hack that I've seen was sawdust. I've got a bag of sawdust that I collected from other projects that I've done around the house here, and wood glue. This is something I've done working on guitars and other projects where it's a good wood filler. You use wood glue, mix the sawdust, and it'll fill in holes or something if you need to. But I was also thinking that being that it's not a solid body, and it's basically just a bunch of little particles that are glued together, trying to put eyelets into that, or hook hangers, line ties into that, probably gonna pull right out. If you did catch a fish on it, it would probably break the lure, putting that kind of pressure on it. So my idea was to drill a hole through the middle, and got some steel wire frame. What is this? Steel wire. It's meant for hanging like picture frames, like large picture frames and stuff. I've used this before to make, when I was working on lures, making lures. So I'm going to use this, drill a hole through the bait, run the wire through it, and then tie the hook hangers and line ties to this. There we go. I'm going to make two of them. I'm going to make one out of the sawdust. I'm going to make one out of the ramen noodles, and see how they come out, see if I can catch any fish on them. I was kind of thinking lipless crankbait, but they're going to float. I mean, I could load them with lead, but super glue is very flammable. And I don't want this thing that's going to be mostly super glue to be heated up with that lead from melting the lead. I've done it before where I was putting lead into a wooden lure that I had sealed with super glue, and it caught on fire. So I'm thinking a topwater bait. So I'm going to make some kind of a popper, pencil popper, a little small popper, and do that with both of them. So first things up, I'm going to get some pieces of cardboard and make like a mold for it, and fill that with all the stuff, and then fill that with glue. It would probably be best if you used like wax paper, then it wouldn't stick to the glue, but I'm going to sand it all down anyway, so it's not really going to matter. I just don't have any wax paper right now. So let's get into that.
Late night smoke cigars, light 'em up. In the city, cars up, cops light 'em up. In the alleyway, guns fire, light 'em up. Find the truth in the dark, light 'em up. In the club, we're dancing, light 'em up. Flashing lights, no stopping, light 'em up. In the streets, they rumble, light 'em up. Expose the lies, they crumble, light 'em up. Every club, we're dancing, light 'em up. Flashing lights, no stopping, light 'em up. In the streets, they rumble, light 'em up. Expose the lies, they crumble, light 'em up. Every place, every face, light 'em up. Reaching stars, break the bars, light 'em up. In the dark, make a mark, light 'em up. From the start, play your part, light 'em up. Late nights on the grind, light 'em up. Fast cars in the shine, light 'em up. Harsh words can't hide, light 'em up.
All right, well, the sawdust and wood glue did not work out the way it should have. It's a little soft, in the middle, and that's because the wood glue did not soak into it the way it should have. It did the outer layers fine, but it didn't get into the middle. And like you can see here, like trying to open that up in the middle, it started falling out. Even though I tried, like I put some sawdust in and then did a layer of glue and then more sawdust and then a layer of glue, and it still didn't really work. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to use that. But the ramen noodles is solid. Looks like ramen noodles, but it's a solid block, especially on the bottom. You can see where all the super glue settled down on the bottom, and it kind of looks like hang on. You want to make an appearance in the video?
Let me know when you're done with your laptop.
It's not recording.
I didn't do it.
It does kind of look like an interrogation video. I guess I'm a lot taller than you are.
Well, and I'm darker. Probably need more light. Hello. What am I doing?
I don't know. You walked in the middle of me recording, so I'm recording you.
Speak the speech, I pray you. As I pronounce it to you. No, that's not how it goes. Speak the speech, I pray you. As I pronounce it to you, verily on thy lips. Yeah, that's not the line. Speak the speech. Go be ready.
All right, I'm back. Danielle got here in the middle of my recording. She's just getting home from work, and now she's going to go in there and play a video game. So you might hear her screaming and cussing here in a minute. But anyway, I'm still trying to peel off most of the cardboard on the ramen noodle. Still got some tape on it. I didn't realize the tape was still on there. But yeah, I can sand all of that off. This one I think is going to work. It's actually got a nice heavy density to it. A lot more than I expected. So it's still going to float. And yeah, so I'm going to get that sanded up to the right shape and start trying to get the wire through it and hang some hooks off of it. And then we'll paint it. I'm not sure how I'm going to paint it yet. Let's see if I can white it. But yeah, the sawdust did not work out. I'm not going to be able to carve anything out of this. It's too soft. It does work great as a wood filler. That's a nice little hack for that. And it does harden there. This one I just with the cardboard and stuff, it wasn't able to soak all the way through, and it just didn't harden up. So, oh, well, 1 out of 2. That's 50%. Guess it could be worse. But yeah, let's get into shaping that. Get all of that ramen dust. It actually worked out better than I expected it to. I thought it was going to start crumbling apart once I started getting through the super glue into the noodles, but no, it's still got a good heavy density, and it's solid. It feels really good. Probably another coat of super glue to seal it all up and then paint it. Find a color to paint it. That did work. I can see straight through the hole. That's perfect. Now I gotta vacuum everything up. So I just realized my camera wasn't even on that whole time. I had this piece of 2x4 here with a screw sticking out of it. I had the frame wire, looped it around that, put it at the other end of the drill, spun the drill, made a nice straight wire there, and see it coming out there, and I've got the hook hanger sticking out the end off the back, curved downward. I just super glued it into place and I'm letting it dry. So let it dry right there. I can't believe I didn't record that. I could have sworn I had my camera on. And I've got a little bit of green, got a little bit of white left. So I'm gonna make it kind of like a frog, do green on top, white on the bottom. Looks like a Rice Krispie treat that I painted green. White on the bottom, green on top. It's supposed to be kind of like a frog or a bait fish or something. But I don't know. I didn't even water test it or anything. I was waiting for the paint to dry and fell asleep. So yeah, I don't know how this thing is going to act. It might sink. It's pretty heavy. Of course, first cast it goes right into a line that's hanging on the surface. I don't understand how people can do something like this. Like, if your line is snagged on a branch and you know you can't get it back, don't cut it off. Pull it till it breaks. That way it breaks at the hook. Man, this is like a whole spool hanging from that tree. And look at that. I got all of it off. How hard was that? It was meant to be more of a popper, but it kind of turned more into a slow sinking crankbait or jerkbait. Actually, if you move it fast, it has a little bit of a wobble on a quicker retrieve, like a swim. Not terrible. Casts really far. Too far, pretty much. But it does actually swim. I'm surprised it swims. I thought it would float more, especially initially, but now that it's got the paint and everything on it, I can feel how heavy it is. Like, I kind of suspected it might sink. But it doesn't sink fast. So I was originally trying to make it like a popper or walker kind of thing, where it's on the surface and you twitch it and it goes side to side, but it actually does that under the surface now. So I think this is like a subsurface walker. Oh no. Oh, that's not good. Treble hooks, of course. Okay, whatever I snagged is coming towards me. I just hope it's nothing nasty. Come on, keep coming. Don't stop now, come on. Looks like a suitcase, maybe? I don't know, it's a big rectangle. Oh, it's a couch cushion, maybe. Which, yeah. I'm glad it's coming towards me because this was not going to be coming off on its own. Oh, and there goes a bass, of course. Come on, just keep moving towards me. Let's get close enough I can grab it with the pliers. There we go. Okay. Whew. Crisis number one averted. One hook's a little bit bent. I can fix that. Well, the big question was whether or not this would actually work as a material to make a lure out of. And I believe I answered that question. That's a yes. But in order for it to work, I think somebody with more skill than I have is going to have to be the one to make it. So, tag Marling Baits in this. Also, I would suggest, if you do try it yourself or something, to try to ground it up as much as possible. As, you know, actually what would work really good is that sawdust that came off of it when I was sanding. If you can get all of that and you grind up the noodles as much as you can instead of leaving big clumps like I did, and then use super glue, it would definitely be a lot more solid and dense. It would fit and fill better. There wouldn't be these big gaping holes in it. So it works. I think I'm just about ready to give up on this creek, but I don't have time to go anywhere else. So I'm gonna head back and try to get one of those green sunfish on it. There's a big school of green sunfish under the bridge over there, and I think I'm gonna just go throw at them for a little while. So let's head that way. All right, I'm just coming back over here because there's usually fish stacked up on that tree across the way there. So I'm gonna fish that for a little while. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's because the weather's changing, but I can't even find any sunfish today. Oh. Oh, there's one chasing it. Following it to the bottom. It's just a sunfish. It's picking at it. Got him. Got a green sunfish. It's not the bass I was looking for, but yeah, that's the only fish I've seen since I first got here. Green sunfish, but yeah, there we go. So the bait, I mean, the material will work. I just chose a very bad bait design, or didn't choose it, I just made a very bad bait design. But yeah, so there you go, got one.